Flying. A fantasy dreamed by those who dream of the skies. Something so out of reach for a long time. But this all changed in update 1.9. Imagine this. You are in 2016 and you're just getting on Hypixel after watching the first season of Stranger Things. Then in the launcher you see an update. So you click update, just as any normal individual would. You get into your Minecraft world to find that nothing has changed. Being prepared to enter their end, as you were prepared yesterday, you jump into the portal and defeat the dragon. And then you notice something in the distance. Another portal. And after a death, another death, and another death, you finally go through. You see a whole new world. Nah, just kidding. It's just the end with a bit of purple and stone. And then you walk out of a ship with a pair of Elytra and jump off and whoosh, you glide straight off into the abyss, die and rage quit. Okay, but in all seriousness, we have to talk about what kind of a time 2016 was. Microsoft had just recently bought Mojang. Notch was not involved with the game anymore. People were hindering at the thoughts that Minecraft would not receive any more updates. It's been a long time since a new one had released at the time. You may think this is where the Elytra became the most controversial item in Minecraft, but you are dead wrong. I'm gonna stop you in the tracks. Dead in the path. Nobody talks about the Elytra at the time. It's cool, but people want the old combat back. This is the community split, but I'm not here to talk about that. That's for another day. I mean, trust me, there's like half a dozen videos on that on YouTube. But I'm here to talk about the Elytra. At this time, Elytra were just wings, used to glide. That's it. And that would continue on to 1.10, the most major update to any video game in existence. Dramatic. Then came 1.11, the exploration update. Rather shortly after that release, in a follow-up to an update that brought shulker boxes and the Woodland Mansion, there was a feature that got added that would change exploration forever. Firework rocket boost. You could now use firework rockets to endlessly boost yourself with Elytra. This made it much easier, with a stack of firework rockets at least, to travel long distances, not even getting to experience the ground. This is one of the many critiques I have about the modern day Elytra, and that, along with many other interesting topics surrounding the Elytra, is what I'm going to talk about in the rest of the video. Dun dun dun. Point 1. Exploration. Exploration has always been a keen part of Minecraft, but in recent years it has become a staple of the Minecraft experience. From underground exploration to above ground. There's so much variety when it comes to mobs, biomes, and structures, and now Mojang is even listening to us. We wanted more ambiance in Minecraft, and they gave it us. From ground leaves to flowers, falling leaves for all trees, more ambient sounds, and so much more to come as the drop gets flushed out, and the sound of the leaves crunching below your feet. Well, there's nothing quite like it. But just kiss that sweet ground goodbye with Elytra. With Elytra, you're able to fly high up in the air, chunks generating at a quick speed, seeing biome after biome pass you, missing out on all the special ambience each biome has to offer. From the ominous Pale Garden to walking under huge roots in the mangrove swamp, there's just so much to see on the ground in modern day Minecraft. And having the Elytra as the superior over all other transport in the game, it truly discourages the player from wanting to do anything except fly Elytra. Am I saying I want them to remove Elytra? Oh, no, I'm not that evil. By all means, I would never suggest that. But this directly relates to the main problem of Elytra versus other transport. From the horse to the donkeys, it's almost as soothing as the goat scream. No, nothing compares to the good old goat. But back to the point, there's a lot of transport in the game, so here's the full list. Horses, donkeys, mules, camels, pigs, skeleton horses, minecart, boats, chest boats, strider, and the llama. Oh my gosh, this camel is even huge compared to the llama. Really never looked at the camel compared to the other ones. A little bit off topic, but just look at how smooth this camel is. Like I said, a comprehensive list of all modes of transport. So let's go through and compare all of them, and then we'll circle around to the culprit of the problem. Horses. They're pretty cool. They come in a bunch of varieties with different looks, speeds, and jump heights. If you get a maxed out horse through breeding, they can go really fast and jump pretty high. So it seems like the obvious answer, right? Wrong. Donkeys. These are probably the least used transport in the game. Just kidding, it isn't. Just wait until I get to what is. Anyways, donkeys can hold something unique that a tamed horse cannot. A chest. So is a donkey better than a horse? Nope. A donkey just has these fixed, mediocre stats to make it more fair, and the player has to choose either speed, speed, or storage. The mule. This one's even cooler. The player goes through the trouble of finding both a horse and a donkey since these do not spawn naturally. They can breed them together and make a mule, which is faster than a donkey. But no matter what, it won't be quite as fast as the fastest horse, but nevertheless, it can still carry a chest. It won't be able to jump quite as high either, but again, it has a chest. So this one I would consider more unique since it has a chest and it's decently fast compared to the donkey. But it's still slow enough to be annoying if you don't, need all the extra storage. Those are like the golden trio of land transport, each with its own unique properties, and then like a combined one. Pretty cool, am I right? But there's still a couple more unique rideable overworld mobs that I have to talk about. What are you doing in there? Get out. Get out. Who are you looking at? Camels. This guy's more recent from 1.20. All the previous rideable entities we mentioned could only hold one person, from the horse to the mule, but this guy can hold 2 people. That is the perk of him. That's not all. He's also higher than other mobs. I mean, look at this guy. You can hit like a zombie or a husk without it hitting you back since it's so tall, and zombies cannot hit you. And it can jump really large gaps instead of high up like a horse. So either way, single player or multiplayer, this guy has something to offer. Llamas. You would think llamas would be movable or something, but you cannot saddle a llama. They're basically just storage with a chest on one of these guys and carpet for color coding. So I guess you can have like 4 or 5 of them that leads you behind of extra storage. But if it gets trapped on something, it can be easy to leave behind. So I don't see them used that often. You're probably like, why the heck did I include a llama in this transport list? The reason is it's just like closely related and it had to be an honorable mention. Okay, pigs. These you can actually control. These guys are sort of like a disappointment when it comes to rideable mobs. I'll start with the perks, I guess. They are super common compared to all other rideable mobs. Camels you can only find in desert villages, or soon anywhere in the desert, but it's still rare. In mules you have to breed 2 together, and they don't spawn all the time. And llamas are only in warm biomes. But pigs, they're everywhere. And all you have to do is get yourself a saddle and a carrot on a stick. No need to tame it at all. Then the final mob, the runner-up I've got to mention, is definitely the Strider. He's the only way you can get across huge lava pools in the nether without Elytra. If I'm correct, he's also at the speed of pigs or even faster. And you need a warped fungus on a stick, which is the same crafting recipe as the carrot on a stick, but with warped fungus. He doesn't have anything unique to say about him, except he can get across lava a lot quicker than trying to find an alternate route or just placing blocks. Then there's the trio of alternate rideable entities, which aren't exactly mobs, but I mean, they're just entities. The boats, chest boat, and minecart. Boats are like the only way you can, like Striders in the nether, get across large water gaps, so they don't really have an advantage to them. Then chest boats do the exact same thing, and have the same consistent speed as a boat, but you can only get 1 person in the boat. But the player has more inventory space, and it can also be used for like redstone contraptions. Then minecarts are like kind of weird. Unlike any other transport in the game, you have to place a rail for it. You cannot go wherever. It is a linear path, and you have to have a good amount of iron and redstone for it. So minecarts are just a quicker way to get in between houses, different bases, either underground or above ground, or if you want to decorate it. But it's not a reliable way to like explore per se. Plus they're pretty slow as of now. Yeah, don't get me started on the minecart speeds. Whew. So that's transport for you. Now before I get into the juicy stuff, you gotta go drop a sub down below if you want to see more content like this, and comment down below any and all thoughts you have. Now back to the juicy stuff. What is Mojang even doing to fix this? If what I said was true, then 1.11 is when Elytra got this added to them, and all of the transport is bad. So why has Mojang not fixed it in the past 9 years? Well, first off, they have not added literally like any form of transport in the past 9 years, other than the camel more recently. So they left it untouched. But if you dig a bit deeper, we can see that Mojang did do something in an experimental snapshot. But it kind of got reverted a snapshot or 2 later. So we'll get back to that in a moment, so stay tuned for that. So why is the Elytra the outlier compared to all other forms of transport? Well, the reason becomes obvious when you look at boats. Yes, you have to get firework rockets, but they're not hard to get, and then you can go over to huge oceans in a matter of minutes, faster than a boat or chest boat could ever do. Big caves, just use Elytra. Exploration, going through trees with rideable mobs can be challenging, especially a dark oak forest, so just ride Elytra. I mean, there's no other use for any other form of transport except minecarts for roller coasters. Oh, those were the days. And going down into the mines, they are just so cost ineffective compared to the Elytra. So, I mean, a counter argument can be made. Elytra is an in-game item, and it isn't widely available, so why does it need to be nerfed? Well, in my opinion, this is both right and wrong. It should be an awesome item to use due to it being only found in the in-game, but it shouldn't cancel out other features. Wait, in-game, and it's the end. I mean, I guess that's literally why it's called the end. It's not even a joke at this point. So here's an analogy. Let's say Mojang actually buckles up and adds a new dimension, and this is like basically a new in-game dimension. But it's better than all other dimensions, so the end becomes basically useless, and so does all the other dimensions. And you spend all your time there. Wouldn't you want the other dimensions to be changed because you're spending all your time in one dimension? I mean, but yeah, it has to balance out. So back to Mojang about what I was saying earlier. What did they do to try to fix this? Let's talk caves and cliffs. In this era of Minecraft, before the experimental toggle in Java Edition was even there, they had experimental snapshots, some of which included the combat experiment and the deep dark experiment. But with the caves and cliffs experiments, they mainly edited ore distribution and generation, but that stuff is old news. What they did in the final experimental snapshot was something else, something nobody expected, an Elytra nerf. Oh, you cannot imagine how enraged the Elytra community was. There's a reason they had to revert it. But here's what they tried to do. Elytra no longer takes durability when doing regular flying. No longer do you have to add mending or unbreaking to glide, which gliding is kind of like the old way, so it kind of encourages the normal way Elytra is supposed to be used. Then they made the firework rocket boost a bit weaker, so you can't even fly as fast. Mojang themselves acknowledged the problem we have all been begging them to fix, saying, quote, Elytra rocket boosting is so fast that the other means of transport have become almost redundant. We want to balance it out a bit. Even in the earlier versions of Minecraft, most servers just get laggy when players try to fly around with Elytra and rockets because they fly faster than the chunks can even load. With the new world height, this would probably get worse. Wow. I'm speechless. I swear this literally fixes the problem. Then in the following weeks, in the first snapshot of 1.18, there was no mention of the Elytra change. It had been reverted. They didn't even mention they reverted it, so they did not want the community to know. Ever since then, hope was high that they would revisit it. Weeks went by, weeks turned into months, into years, and we are where we are today. Where it all started. The overpowered Elytra is still having a monopoly over all other forms of transport. Just look how much more fun it is to glide. It requires actual skill, not just spamming. Oh wait, a minecart nerf? Wow. Camman18 is definitely proud of Mojang. And this time they didn't just forget about it. They added this along with some new redstone changes, which this is 2 older Minecraft features being revisited. And recently they actually updated the villager trading in-game. They took out the wandering trader changes and the cartographer, I'm pretty sure, changes. And they added them to the base game. Those 2 balances were great and all, but they left the ones that had a lot of controversy, like the librarian change in the experimental toggle, which they're going to get back to eventually. Same for the armor. But this, along with the redstone and villager changes, have not been touched in months. So is all hope lost in what Mojang can do? So before I come to my final conclusion, let's recap. There are many forms of transportation in Minecraft, from horses to pigs to boats, and they all have their perks with one single outlier. The Elytra. The Elytra with rockets can boost all across the world, throwing out all challenge and fun life the grounded Minecraft experience brings. So back to my question. What can Mojang do to fix this? First off, finish the other experiments. If Mojang overloads themselves, they will never get anything done. Right now, they are working on the back end of Minecraft to edit generation, add new blocks, mobs, biomes, etc. Especially with the new biome ambience updates. Added a lot of stuff that makes it easier for biomes and stuff. And it's looking pretty spicy. So my guess is once they progress enough in this, they can get back to and perfect the new tech. Then after that, they can work on a brand new experiment that balances out Elytra with the other forms of transport. Okay, so this is a bit of a rant I went on, but if you enjoyed it, be sure to drop me a like down below. And while you're at it, a sub as well. Put your thoughts in the comments down below. I love reading them, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.